Hey everybody, we on. Y'all go ahead and have people join in. We want to start a watch party. Uh, we want to get things going here. Glad to have everybody part. I see people starting to come in. Y'all say hello as y'all come in and start coming on the show. Please share this. I got my beautiful mom with me. I'm so excited today. I should have put my smell goods on. I ain't put no smell goods on. She's sitting next to me, but yeah, y'all come on in. And my daughter is texting me while I'm doing this. I'm gonna tell her I need my charger too. So y'all come on in. Y'all begin to share the show. We got a lot of people. Here we go. We got people coming in. We got Zania saying good morning. Good morning, Zania. Hey, how you doing? We got my man Brandon is here. Hey, Brandon, what's going on? We got let's see who we got. Oh, we got all kind of people coming in. Good morning to you guys. Good morning. We got Sandy in the house. Good morning, Sandy. Pam is here. Good to see y'all. And Georgia is here. Good to see you. Thank y'all for coming in. Please share the show. We're going to be on for hopefully about an hour, having some conversations about life. Y'all saw my expression. So come on, say hello to everybody. Say good morning. Loretta, good morning. How you doing? Good morning. Miss Kelly, what's going on? Thank you for joining us on today. We got Vanessa Green in the house. I see you coming in. Oh, yeah, y'all coming in this month. See Mother Bailey get on. Y'all all come in. Y'all say good morning. Y'all see she over here smiling. Hey, Paula. Paula is here. Good morning. We got Robin Smith in the house. Good morning, Robin. Good morning. We have other people coming in. We got an exciting show today. We're going to just have some candid conversation about life. You know, my mother has always been such an impactful person, not only in my life, but in many lives across the nation. And I'm glad to have her here with us today and be able to kind of talk to us a little bit. They saying they love you, Mom, how much they miss you. Look at that. They say they miss you. And look at that. They say they miss you. Y'all miss me too? Lisa saying good morning, Lisa. Good to see you. Everybody's coming in. I just want to give it a few more seconds before we go and start our show today. So make sure, please, that you're sharing this, that you are doing watch parties. Just to let you know also that I will be starting. I have started a YouTube channel with some of my other shows. So please go on to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Each week it will let you know when we're on. I'm on every Thursday for about an hour at 11 a.m. So please subscribe to that channel. I'll put a link in the thread a little later. But people are starting to come in. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. Me and my mom are going to talk about life. But like I said, we got some other special guests here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring them in. We have my second mom here. We got her here. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Dr. Ernestine Roberts. How you doing
today?
Good. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so glad you're here with us also to talk about life. You know, your son did call me last night. And he told me, make sure you taking care of my mom. I felt a certain way about that. I always take care of you, right? But he called me and I was taking care of you. So I'm definitely doing that. And we also have coming to our show to talk about life is my sister Heather. This is my best friend Adrian's wife, and so glad to have Heather with us. What's going on?
Hey, bro. Hey, mother.
How you doing?
Hey, sugar. I'm well. How y'all doing today?
Good. We still got people coming in saying good morning to everybody. We have Miss Judy's in the house. What's going on? We got who else we got here? Saying they love you. Miss Gamble is saying they love you. Muff is saying good morning. Others are saying good morning. But I want to go ahead and get started, so I don't want to waste too much time. And when we was talking about life, you know, I have been raised by some wonderful parents. And I was telling my brother the other day that, you know, we are really blessed because we were able to be raised by some solid people, some solid individuals. And one thing that I admire about them is how
Mhm.
long that they have actually been married. And they have been married, what now? 45
Yeah.
years. 45 long years. And so I wanted to start this conversation off by asking my mother, in terms of in life, how did you guys make it for 45 years? So y'all got to get used to this because me and my mom, we talk all the time. We go back and forth, so we might act a little silly. So y'all get used to this. But this is our relationship. So, mom, how did y'all last for 45 years?
Oh, of course, you know, I would say Jesus. It takes that in a
Definitely.
marriage if you're gonna make it work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I guess at the beginning of our relationship, we became friends, and I guess I was more of a friend, but he was looking a little further. So
I don't know what that means. You're looking a little perfect.
well, anyway, the Lord showed him in a dream. He told me, but I didn't know anything about it. Showed me in a dream that he was supposed to marry me, and then after that, he said he went back the second night, and the Lord showed him me again with a child in each arm. And so, we got started. We met when we were 15. We didn't see each other again until we were almost 20, I think. We even went to college in the first year in Nashville in the same city and didn't see each other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm learning today too.
In Nashville.
Yeah.
In Nashville. Yes, I went to Tennessee State, and he went to a Bible college there, but still we hadn't seen each other from that time. And I know the members know how he has told the story about how he met me and that different things. But it has taken a lot of love, a lot of understanding in especially in the position that I'm in, being a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
It really has taken a lot. And I guess and he and I talk about it a lot now, that the Lord did it. He really put us together. He really did. And we tried to do the best we could to stay together. We have, we've had, and every once in a while we still disagree. You always gonna have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to know how to love one another and care for one another, and also respect one another.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to encourage everybody to ask your questions. This is a candid conversation, and we want you to be able to talk to Mother and talk to Dr. Ernestine Roberts and my sister Heather, who's on here also. So please ask your questions. We got somebody tuning in. Well, we'll get to them in a second. But also, I want to ask you, Dr. Roberts and Heather, because it seems like even within your relationships, although you haven't been married for 45 years or wasn't married for 45 years, this friendship thing seems important. So can you kind of just talk about that a little bit? I'll let Dr. Roberts start first. Is she there?
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about the friendship
Yeah.
part in marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. You're breaking up a little on my end, so I'm
Okay.
trying to pick up your voice.
Yeah, we want to just talk
Can
about.
you hear?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We hear you fine.
I can barely hear you.
All right. Well, until you get it together, we're gonna go to Heather. Heather, why don't you talk talk about it a little bit?
It's very, very important to start off as friends. Hey, a lot of people know Adrian and I's story. We grew up in church together. So our friendship began at church, attending, youth services, attending services.
Yeah.
And we're friends for 30 something years before 30 something years before we got married. He moved here when he was 4. So, I grew up in the church. My mom was pregnant with me in the church. So I was a church baby, grew up, listened to Archbishop preach every Sunday, you know. But the main thing is being a friend.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're friends with them, you see the good and you see the bad.
Yeah.
And you see them where they're at their best, and you see them when they're at their lowest, and you still have to be supportive of them at every single moment.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that Adrian and I have always been. Folks joke, oh, y'all dating? No, we weren't dating.
And it's funny you say that because look, when we was growing up, I used to go to A's house. Me and Lenny used to go to A's house. We'd be like, A's, who you on the phone with? That was just Heather. Used to be like, you gonna marry Heather? Oh no, I ain't marry Heather. But look what happened.
And that literally was nobody but God, because I was living in Virginia doing my thing, going church, traveling, enjoying life. And
right.
I was just home. I think it was it the year? Yeah. Some things going on in the family. I was just home Christmas. So my thing was every year. So when I moved to Virginia, the requirement was every time I come home, we spend time together. So if it's going to
so wait a minute, you said the requirement. Who made that requirement?
I did. But that was the requirement of our friendship,
Right.
That was the requirement, is that, we do something,
Yeah.
And it was all but 1 year we didn't hang out. And I was just home that Christmas, because I came home every Christmas. Yeah. And we were hanging out. He didn't say nothing to me. Okay. All right. See, I'm going back to VA.
Right. he was acting up.
The most I stayed home was a week for Christmas. I got to come to church. My birthday's at Christmas. So I had to, that was my thing. And so it was January. He called me at work at my desk, and I was like, hey, he's like, the Lord told me you were my wife. Excuse me?
Wow.
And that's where everything changed. Friendship is important. So, but really being there and being a listening ear. And even when, challenges in life, everybody knows Adrian's testimony. He lost his kidney. Even with that, of being a friend during the tough times, that's what you have to do. And so now, as soon as we got married, the adjustment went from being a friend to being a wife and to being a husband. So that's, and next, let's see, this is June. August will make 9 years that we will be married.
Wow. That's great. That's great. I see Dr. Roberts is still trying to come in. I don't she look like she having some problems. Are you there?
I'm having difficulties.
Oh my God.
I'm having difficulties.
All right. So Dr. Roberts,
yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We were talking about this friendship thing with marriage, and why you.
I'm having difficulties hearing. It keeps going in and out.
All right. Well, we can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hearing you.
Your volume
I'm having difficulties hearing you. You're going in and out.
Is your volume up?
Okay.
We gotta make sure we help her do this, Heather.
Yes.
We're gonna walk you through it.
Are you on your phone or your tablet, my Robert?
She coming in on both devices, but it's we'll get
I'm
to.
I'm on, but I can. But you can hear. But go in.
Use your.
So I can't pick up your questions because you're going in and out.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me well?
Yep, we can hear you well. So turn one of your devices off, because you got two devices on right now. But Dr. Roberts, we're talking about friendship and relationships and really becoming friends before you decide to get married. And so we was asking you how did that work with you and Freeman? So that's what we was talking about. Are you still there? She didn't went out.
It's all right, Mom Roberts.
You didn't went out again? Okay, well, hopefully she'll reconnect in 1 minute. I see she looked like she's still trying to come in. Hopefully she'll come back in. Let me see if this is her right here. So please ask your questions, everybody. We want to hear from you guys also, and we want to get all your questions answered. We're only going to be on for probably another 40 minutes or so. But please ask your questions. You can log on, even if you want to ask a private question that you do not want everybody to know about. Just give me a text message at 860-946-0523, and I'll go ahead and put that in the feed in 2 seconds. But Dr. Roberts, you back? You got yourself together? You there?
She froze.
All right, well, we'll give it a second. I think we got a question from Sister Zania. Zania says, question for Mother Bailey. You said God showed Archbishop that you were to be his wife. Mm-hmm. Were you at all concerned that God hadn't shown you?
Well, see,
that's a great question.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about it because really I was involved with someone else. And so was he.
So they were dating somebody else, and the Lord showed Archbishop, somebody. Ain't that something?
And I didn't know anything about it until later. But what happened is that I said it was the Lord. The Lord saw that both of us ended up getting rid of both of those people in our lives.
Yeah.
And that's when we really became closer as friends and that kind of thing. And we got closer. And so I just asked the Lord one day, who was I supposed to be with? And I said, well, if it's him, move me closer to him, because at first we were friends. I didn't see myself as dating him. But he said he could see it. You should hear him talk about it.
Yeah, we gotta get my dad to come on here and talk. He has a whole story about how they ended up together, and there was a situation that happened that blessed my father to be able to get my mother. The Lord works in mysterious ways. So the Lord definitely did show. So we'll get my dad on here to kind of talk, and I would love. I'm gonna see once my dad is doing better. We're gonna get them both on here. Maybe we'll do something on marriage to help the marriage people and those who are single who want to be married. So, but moving right along, Dr. Roberts, you on yet? You have all kind of problems.
I see.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. It's better than it was before.
Okay.
Still a little cracking up, but it's better.
So we was talking about the friendships in terms of relationships, and we want to see your take on friendships and of how you and Freeman was developed your relationship.
Okay. Well, I met Freeman when I was very young, and our relationship began with really friendship. Mm-hmm. Even though he wanted to try to be my father, it was more of a trusting thing of friendship. And I got to know him by actually asking him questions, beginning to actually wanted to know who he was, what type of person he was. And that's the only way that you can actually grow in friendships, is to actually learn the person, try to know who they are, their mannerisms, their background, what kind of family background they come from, and things like that. That grows friendship. And then that's when trust comes, because you begin to share some intimate things with one another, and that builds the trust. So that's how I became friends with Freeman. He was my best friend.
Well, I'm glad.
Share things with Freeman that I didn't even share with anybody.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm glad you brought that up, because I do want to talk about how important trust is. Yeah. Especially in a relationship. So I don't know, Ma, if you can talk about trust and kind of let's expound on that.
Yeah, it's You go through so many things with trust. Even when you get married, you got to learn how to trust not only with your relationship, but even in the relationship, as far as living together, your monies, your your family and stuff like that. And one thing about my family was they, even now, they see my husband, my sisters and brothers see my husband is more like their second dad. They'll call him up and ask him anything. And they'll laugh and joke with him and that kind of thing. It's really a good relationship. And he started coming to the house breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Before
You
while
gonna
we
make
would,
sure he was in there. And what, nobody gonna have a chance.
and if I tried to see someone else, if I tried to see someone else, the children, my sisters and brothers would tell it. They love him. So the trust was there with the family, and even for my dad to really like him, that was a real plus.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's when a young lady can really tell if the father is really into the person. Mom always going to be nice, most of the time. But trust has a lot to do with not being insecure, and that happens a lot in relationship. If you're not secure with yourself, well, every little thing will fly out the window. You fly up and stuff like that. But I asked God when we first got married to one issue that I had that he didn't really know about it, and that was I have a temper. So then I told God two things that I wanted to be married, but I wanted God to take my temper away. And when I got pregnant with my kids, I wanted my children to be raised with their father. And that's because everybody I know in my family was mother and dad, my grandparents, my great grandparents. So I've seen a lot to build up trust. And when you see your mom and your dad, things happen in your family with your grandfamily and stuff, that has a lot to do with trust too, because you see certain things that if it was a negative, you want that not to be in your marriage. And it's the plus, you want all of that to be in your marriage. And and even now I still can see my mom and dad, the cooking of the breakfast in the morning, he kissing her before he leave out the door, and just stuff that their relationship, and in the way that they raised us, as a family, we worked together. They taught us work ethics. So, a lot of that had to do coming in with my relationship with my husband. And you have to build that trust too, because sometimes who you marry didn't come from the same type. And see, my husband, he wasn't raised with his mom and dad, but his spiritual mom and dad were close to me as well. So a lot of that has to do with it too.
I think that's important. What you said about even dealing with, you had an example, and you had an example within your parents, and really taking the good pieces versus the bad pieces, or the tough pieces, and really building your relationship with dad, to make it even better. I wish Dr. Roberts was on, because I would kind of want her to kind of expound, or you could talk about more about, a lot of people today do not have those type of examples. And we're in a time where relationships are hit and miss, and you're looking at maybe 50% of marriages don't last, and you have now even within relationships where parents are arguing in front of the kids, and they're doing crazy things in front of front of the kids, where the kids are mentally taking those pieces and actually thinking, well, maybe this is what relationship is supposed to be about, or or be like.
Right.
And it's not supposed to be like that. And so I like what you said of taking the good and versus the bad, and really bringing the best of the relationship into your marriage. So
Right.
I see Dr. Roberts back. You got something to say? You there? She looked like she froze it again.
Another thing about that, you mentioned doing things in front of your kids.
Yeah.
Now, if my husband and I had a disagreement, we would never argue in front of our children. We would do what we do, and go to bed. And then we talk. We talked about it. We were able to talk to one another. And that's another way of building trust too. Even though you might have disagreements about different things, but I'm a type of person. I'm a talker, and I like to have the meetings, like family meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we have family meetings, y'all.
Yeah, we still have family meetings.
Yeah.
With my children, I still have family meetings with my sisters and brothers. I just want everything to be out. I want to get it out, because when you start holding stuff in to you and you build up a fence, and anything you hating somebody, and only person you're hurting is yourself.
Yeah, and that's important to talk about too, because in a lot of families, I've noticed that the siblings do not get along.
Right.
There's even mistrust between the children and the parents, or the parents. The child does not want to talk to one of the parents, and communication is so key. And one thing I do like is that we do have our family meetings. Now, our family meetings could be very robust in conversation, but by the time we leave, we all right. So I remember one time, I'm gonna tell you a little story. We were sitting in the office, me and my dad and Michael, and I ain't gonna tell you what it was about, but we went out, and boy, my dad made me so mad. I got up and I went and slammed the door. But he called me back in. We had a conversation, and then next thing I know, 15, 20 minutes later, he's like, "Son, come on, let's go to lunch. It's time to eat. I ain't got time for this." But that's that. But that's what it's supposed to be about in terms of Bill. I see Michael on here. Michael says super robust. Yes, Mike. But I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about in terms of family and really developing relationship with each other.
Right.
Each other, and that's where that trust comes in. So I know with my brother, with my sister, with my mother, I can say things and be real with them without any malice, behaviors or any situation. Everybody knows they love each other, and that's what family is supposed to be about. But Heather, what you got to say?
You gotta you gotta talk. Yeah, and sometimes keeping it real, those communications don't happen before it needs to happen. And then you could be walking like two ships in the night. They come in, you hear, boom, they're there, and y'all just don't talk. And sometimes it's like, okay, you got, hold on, we got to talk about this. And just like Adrian's like, okay, that happened yesterday, but me, I'm like, no, I need to talk about this. I need to make sure that I'm clear, because.
Let's stop there for a minute, though, Heather, because let's talk about what if your mate don't want to talk when you want to talk. How do you deal with that? How you deal with that?
Sometimes the Lord just wants you to cool off, because it probably can get rougher, and one won't listen.
It can be tough, but you have to. I know I have to be like, okay, Lord, is there something that I'm missing? I try to check myself, and it's like, okay, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
And I found myself doing it more now and saying, okay, this is what I heard you say, and this is how it made me feel. And
And that's good, Heather. That's good, Heather. You have to exactly let a person know how you feel, what they said, how it made you feel.
Yes. Yes.
That person may not have come across the way that they thought they did, that would hurt you.
And that conversation may not take place the next day.
Yeah.
It may be a couple days down once
Right.
I've cooled off, because it'll be me. Like, okay, well, wait a minute now, but I have to, be able to place everything in the right perspective and have that conversation. The most important thing I'm realizing is we have to have a conversation.
Oh, by the way, Adrian just popped on and said that he's listening.
Well, praise well, praise the Lord. Hey, honey.
But I think that's important too, and I realize that everybody communicates different,
right?
And you have to really learn who you're dealing with, and even that's not even a relationship; it's just people in general, whoever you interact with. You have to learn how to relate to them.
Right. And another thing, ladies,
there's men on here too.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to say this right. Because with women and men, women they talk and they might say such and such a thing, but when a man is hearing this, he's listening, and what he sees, the way he sees it, he needs to take care of it, whatever it was that you said. That's just their nature, and that's just our nature. We'll just say something. We'll just be talking about something and all of a sudden you say, where did it come from? Mm-hmm. It's because their listening is different from ours. And you have to realize that men and women are different.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do have a question that somebody asked, and they said, how do you deal with family interference of your husband/wife not standing up for you? If you do it for yourself, you're the bad person. So what if I believe what they're saying, what if your mate, they feel like your mate does not stand up for you? How do you handle that?
To the mate's family?
Well, yeah, I believe that's what it's saying. How do you deal with the family? Yes, family interfering.
Yeah.
So what if their family is interfering in your marriage, but the mate will not, your husband or wife will not stand up for you?
That's real.
That's deep.
That's deep. Because of the fact that number one person, see, I don't know really what's
causing it.
Yeah, what's causing, what the situation is, and I don't know. See, one thing you have to do is to keep your family out of your marriage. If anything would go on in our marriage, seriously, nobody would know about it but two of us, because I wouldn't say anything and that kind of thing unless we are joking about something like that, and that's kind of deep. I need to think about that.
Dr. Roberts, what you got to say? You ready yet?
Okay. How can we keep a family out of our marriage?
Yeah, or out of our business, and
stick up for you,
and you want to stick up for you.
Okay, the thing is to actually keep them out of your marriage is you don't bring the family into the marriage. Mm-hmm. Sometimes what happens is before we marry, it starts before you marry. Before you marry, if you begin to share things, when you have an argument or disagreement, and you begin to share things with your parents, sometimes they hold on to stuff when you forgot about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when other things come up, they automatically jump in because they don't have trust anymore. And sometimes that can really be really destroy a marriage when the parents actually take over. They really take over the household and the marriage.
Yeah.
Because you have allowed them access. So how do you handle that? Okay, the way that you handle that is that you have to go back to scripture, because when you're marrying God's way. You're not marrying the world's way. It says, forsake your mother and your father and cling to your husband. And that means that he has to be first, really. Yeah. That's what the word says. So unless you actually know the word, then you're going to always have confusion between my mom and my dad comes first and you second. So anything that comes up, I'm going to listen to them first.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. I just got threatened by somebody here, and they told me to tell you hi now, and that's Marissa Sutherland.
But you know, something else. You made me lose my thought. I'm Marissa. And even with that with the husband and wife and not sticking up for you really have to stay out of it, and then not try to give them. You can listen to maybe your child, whichever child is, but you can't give them information about what do this or do that. You pray to God that God would show them what they should do, or either God will speak to you and tell you what you can do. And then a lot of times, if it's confusing, sometimes you'll have jealousy in the family when that happens too.
Yeah.
That was my thought. When that happens, you'll find other family members who want what you have, and they will try to destroy what you have with your husband or your wife.
Yeah, that's good.
I know a lot of people, sisters. I've known sisters to be jealous of the brother's wife if he really treats her well, and they're not getting treated well at their house. So why you doing all that? Why you washing, and why you cooking, and why you doing all that? Because they're thinking only of themselves, what they have to do, but you have to run your own household.
Yeah, they might not get beginning at their home. Yeah. That's good. There was a question that came up from Miss Deborah. She says, how do you encourage each child to check on their siblings, support mentally, or just plan on saying hi to each other without them saying they didn't call me or think you're being favoritism over the other child? Because you may tell the stronger child more often than the other to call. Unity is family.
Okay.
That's something we talk about anyway.
Yeah.
In terms of favoritism. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I could talk about that because of the fact that as growing up from little girl on, that my husband even says that to me, that I'm the favorite. But I tell them I'm not the favorite. But my thing is, I know how to get along with all of them. And if there is a problem, no matter where it is in the family, the first thing they're going to say, do I know? And what did I say? So what I'm saying to you is that although you may be the favorite, but you have to have wisdom. And you got to love all of them. I love all of my family. I don't care what they do. They might be in jail, wherever they are.
Yeah.
But they know that I love them, and they know that all I'm going to say is that what is right. And they listen. But when you find some people who they know the favorite, well, they take advantage of that and not really want the others to have a part of that. And I've always told people that that's one thing I have tried to do. I don't make no difference in my children. I would tell them off in a minute, and and they know it too. and I mean, when I see one acting a little foolish, I said, "What is wrong with you?" And I talk to them. I said, "Well, we're gonna get together. It's time for a meet, and we're gonna have this meet."
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that you have to do. And sometimes sisters and brothers get so busy into their own thing that they don't think about the other siblings as well. But you still got to get along with them, because you don't know when a situation come up with your parents or one of them. How are you going to relate? What you going to do? How you going to talk to them? And most of all, you want to show your love. And Jesus can show you that more than anybody. He will show you when you are acting up.
That's right. And I just want to emphasize what she said, and it's so true that when she sees something, she reacts to it and makes sure that we are all on one accord. So as the mother of the family, and I can't emphasize how important it is coming from the mother, the father, to make sure that the kids are staying together. If me, Michael, and Reva now on one accord, we gonna be on the phone, and she gonna say what she gotta say, and we gonna say what we gotta say, and then we gonna be done with it. We gonna be done with it. So, and I think that's so important. There's another question that came through from Classy Rocks. It says, do you think it starts with the expectation during dating, the family involvement, that is, unless there is unhealthy abusive situation, why they were involved? So should they start with dating?
I'm kind of lost with that. What you mean?
What she's saying is, should the family involvement start the expectation? So should whoever you're dating, should they, whoever you're dating, know about your family involvement? Should they, I believe, saying, should they be have knowledge of it, or how your family works?
Oh, I don't know if that's necessarily. So, some families I know even with I have this thing, I can just pick up on things right away. And I can just be walking by minding my own business, and the Lord just says, zoom. He'll show me things or put stuff right in front of my face to let me know this is not right, something like that. And it has not. I'm trying to get all this baby is trying to say in her question.
Dr. Robert, can you see the question? It says, do you think it starts with the expectation during dating?
Oh, you mean
the expectation
that, say for instance,
family, how tight family is, and the involvement.
Oh yeah. What most of the time even with you, we weren't involved with whoever you dated.
So I could speak on my behalf. In terms of us, my parents really didn't get involved in who we dated, how we dated, and none of that kind of stuff until till we said we about to get married.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say, what?
Yeah. So I mean,
but then we did all we could to make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know, Heather. Can you kind of talk about that on your side?
Yeah, and I'm looking at comments. It's saying family involvement in the marriage, and I would say definitely you got to state it up front. In the marriage portion, that hey, what happens between us is here, and it kind of ties into being raised that what happens at home stays at home.
Yeah.
What happens between us, that should be stated up in the beginning portions of your marriage, that as we talk, this is our talk. Those are those pillow talks, that those conversations stay at home. Those conversations don't go outside the door. But you have to be strong enough to say that, because if somebody is close to their family, you don't want them to deter them from their family. You still encourage them, well, we're doing good and stuff like that. But what happens at home, if it's serious, that's between you and I.
Yeah, but I think it is important that is established in the dating process.
Yes.
Yeah, and because you don't want to get involved with somebody that feels like they want their family involved in everything and they need to know
Right.
every detail of the marriage, then you get into a
Right.
marriage like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
You,
that has to be at that point of a serious relationship, because I remember in the past, when I was single, not everybody I brought home, not everybody that I brought to the attention of the family. But once it became serious, this is where what's happening with us, unless somebody is abusing you, if somebody is abusing you, you need to speak up.
Right.
Abuse, you don't know. You don't put your hands on me. I don't put my hands on you unless we both gonna be down at the courthouse. But we both gonna be down there. But it has to be stated up front. You guys have to, and that's where the communication is all about, how you talk and how you work with each other, because relationships are work, marriages work, and that's all a part of the work process.
That's good. So I have somebody who asked me a question, saying that they're getting married, and please ask Mother Bailey to give 3 good nuggets about advice for newlyweds. 3 good nuggets.
Good nugget. Come on.
About advice for newlyweds.
Oh God. Okay. I'll say this. Now, you going into the marriage. I know 2 things I always tell women. That's 2 most important things. As you about to get married is that you talk about, and that's money and sex. Hello.
Hello.
You can hear this, but I've always always said that you have to communicate about your budget and the money that you have, and you can't be when you get mad holding yourself. I have never denied my husband of sex and this kind of thing, and a lot of women do that. And the other thing is that, like the other thing that we talked about, this is where your relationship really gets started. That, like I say, you begin to learn each other more and more once you start staying with a person.
So wait, can we talk about that for a second? Because in this society, on one of the previous shows, we was talking about shacking. Somebody brought up about shacking. Jesus. And so there was somebody made a comment, and another person made a comment that it's almost not a reality, not the shack or in this generation, because you want to get to know each other, you want to make sure you marry the right one, and nowadays it almost seems easier to do that than to get married. But
that's a sign of that person don't want commitment to me.
Right. So I think that's important to speak on, because the level of commitment seems to be different now than it was years ago. I don't want to say it's different, but it's not as how would you say, as
well. Let me say this. You got to have some qualities about yourself. And I can only go from me. That's one thing that I did. I didn't want to be running around with a whole lot of different men, so I kept myself. And then but you have these issues that you go in, and even when I was working, had a good job and everything, I could have afforded an apartment and stuff like that, but I didn't want an apartment. You know why? Because of the fact that at that time, that's when all of this began. When I was young, in my 18, 20s, and stuff like that, I didn't want an apartment, because that's when where a man feels like he can come over, he can spend the night, and that kind of thing. Same with guys. Now they have the girls to come over and they spend the night, and stuff like that. But like my son said, it's so different now, but still the book doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have some respect for yourself. And I guarantee if you have that respect for yourself, you'll end up having a good relationship and a good marriage, because the person will know that, and that also that the person will know that they can trust you as well because of certain things that you are not going to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I was looking at a question that actually Marissa wrote this question. It's a good question, and it says, "What should a female think if she hasn't met her significant other's parents, but the relationship is serious, and he's met her parents?"
Okay, why he hasn't allowed her to meet his parents?
Right.
See, it sounds like either you're afraid that either they're going to find something, that she's going to find something out about him that she doesn't know, or the family is not like the family is not like her family.
Right.
Sometimes that happens too.
So, how, Dr. Roberts, are you there? How do you deal with that type of situation?
Yeah, this is you're saying that she introduced him to her parents, but he has not introduced her to his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a relationship is
Is
serious.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Normally, if the man has not introduced you to their parents, is because sometimes they're ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes their mother and father relationship is, say, for instance, parents are solid, and you have a grounded relationship with, and he sees that his is not like that. I've seen an experience like that in my family. Say our family is very close and we're grounded, but the other person's family was like, you go there, and every other word be a curse word.
Mm-hmm.
You or either they intimidate one another. I'm just saying something that's real. And so he's ashamed. He was ashamed to actually bring her into that because he was afraid that she would not really love him anymore. Maybe the mother can be really nosy, saying things that's inappropriate when you first meet them and things like that. So it's different ways that reason why a man does not bring a woman into a relationship with his parents.
Yeah, and it might too be
The
it might
ones
all,
that I know that's to be true.
I was gonna say it might also be the level
And
of she cutting in and out. I was gonna say it might also be
that's
the
not
is it coming through? She cutting through. Hopefully she'll come back. But I was gonna say also it could be the level of commitment that he does not. If he's introducing her to the family, then that means that this is really serious on not only on the inner relationship, but bringing everybody together on the outer relationship, which he might not want to do if he's not ready yet.
Right. And sometimes, like if you have a strong family, the other, the young man or the young lady might think that if he or she does this, then the family that's strong is going to find out, going to start digging in to find out if this really the person that he or she says she is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that way too.
Yeah. So that can definitely be a tough situation. I want to go back to the staying connected with the children, the siblings. There was a question that came up from Michael Gonzalez, and he says, "How do you handle following up with your brothers and sisters when they do not follow up with you? You call them, but they do not call you."
Well, you have to just continue. To me, you have to continue to show them love, that you care. And even if you just say, call and say, hello, I just called to say I love you, you know, and that I'm thinking about you, and that kind of thing. And eventually, sometimes that even happens with friends too, you know, that somebody you've been a friend with, you know, and years have gone by, and you call them up, and you don't want anything, but you just want to let them know that there's a part of your life that they are part of, and that you love them no matter what. You don't want anything. You're not trying to find out anything, or anything like that, but you just love them.
Yeah. I guess the key is do your part.
Yeah.
Do your part. You can't worry about
what they do.
What they do, but as long as you're doing your part and making sure you're keeping the communication, if you're doing the righteous thing, then they can't come back and say you did wrong.
Yeah,
you did wrong. But it does bring another question up. Mr. Foster says, how do you I think he's saying, how do you not take your frustrations out on your family member who's deeply stabbed you or who's done you wrong? If your family member's done you really wrong, how do you not be frustrated with them? How do you release that?
Okay, I'm trying to think of maybe and it may be that you think that because of the fact you haven't had an opportunity to talk to them. I don't know if there is a way that you all could come together without an argument or something of that nature, although they've done you wrong. And I know some people like that who have done sisters and brothers wrong, and the other one, they just kind of shy away, you know, from them. But yet still, there are some who still has a conversation with them, although they know that they have done them wrong. They still love them. But on that end, you are going to come out the better person, and the Lord is going to allow you in some way to be blessed for trying to get this right, and for you not to have an offense. See, because if you hold an offense, it eventually gets in your heart. And when it gets in your heart, you know anything that it's working on your health. It's working on your ability to communicate with people, because of the fact that you still have all of this in you about someone has hurt me. And all of us could everybody on this program tonight today could say that, you know, there have been people in your life have really, really hurt you. And you want to just, you know, you want to get rid of it, but you still holding on to that. But the first thing I think about sometimes, if somebody has done something to me, I got to get myself together. There's something wrong with me that I need to get me together. And once I get me together with the Lord, and I start remembering what Jesus did when he went to that cross, and his body was broken and he bled for my sins. Yeah. And it's a reminder of what Jesus has done for me. If I'm not able to forgive and forget, what about Jesus? He forgives everything we do. So that we have to get in a place like that. And I don't know how spiritual, you know, you have to get to that level. But it does take some time for some of the things that people do to you.
Yeah, that's a great question, because people will always, I don't care who you are, somebody's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, they're gonna do something.
They're gonna do something to you that's gonna get under your skin, and you know, you have to get to the point where, like the Bible says, turning your cheek.
Yeah.
And 7 times over, 7 times, keep turning that cheek. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to deal with the foolishness in terms of bringing yourself around it all the time or always, but you have to learn to and get over it and not let it get up in you, because like my mother said, it would destroy you. You end up being sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes you sick. You got with high blood pressure and everything else. But if you can even if you can get a conversation about this. And then if you still don't get it resolved, at least you tried, and the Lord will know this, and you're feeling better about yourself because you did try to understand whatever it was that the person did to you. And sometimes the person doesn't even know that they've hurt you like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some do and some don't, and some people will continue to do you like that. Once again, it comes with jealousy and envy or stuff like that. So many things that you can think of why you be easy to hold an offense against someone.
Well, everybody, it has been about an hour, and this has been great. There were some questions about infidelity I didn't get to, but that came across. But we're gonna definitely get my mother to come back on and talk to us about life. And I just want to thank her. I love you.
Love you too.
And I want to thank Dr. Roberts, my second mom, for being on. I don't know what's going on with your system. We tested this thing out yesterday. So I don't know what's going on. We want to thank Heather for getting on and just appreciate you. Please, y'all, I just started a YouTube channel. You'll see the link at the bottom. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 followers real fast. So y'all go on there, write it down, subscribe to it, and so we can start growing. We want to start doing things to make sure that our people are getting stronger and better. And that's what this is about, really taking the time out to get wisdom from those who have gone through some things, those who are doing things the right way with kingdom principles. And that's what life should be about. And we have to really, come together as families. We got to get the family back together. We got to get that mother and father back together, staying together, working through things. It's too easy now for us to become quitters. And so we do not, we don't want to get into the habit of quitting, but actually learning from our failures, growing from them, making them stepping stones, and really becoming stronger and better. So we're here every Thursday. I'm here talking it up with the people from 11 to about 12 o'clock. And we're going to definitely have my mom back on. I got to see when she got time. My father takes all her time. He's upstairs. He's probably going to start calling in about 5 to 2 seconds about where is his wife. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. So we want, thank you, Dad, for allowing Mom. I can spend a little hour with my mom and you guys. So appreciate y'all. Like I said, please go to subscribe to my YouTube channel that you see at the bottom of the screen. Also, we're here, like I said, every Thursday from 11 to about 12 o'clock for about an hour. I love y'all, and remember, let's continue to be stronger and better together.